If you were God, would you choose the Jews? Answer, probably not. Who are the major world powers today? China, France, Russia, the United Kingdom, and the United States. These nations are often referred to as great powers due to their political and economic dominance of the global arena. They are the only nations to have permanent seats with veto power on the UN Security Council. If God were choosing a nation today to display his glory, it would make sense, at least to most of us, to choose one of those nations. And if I'm an American, I would definitely think that to be the case. But God has this habit of choosing the weak to shame the strong. I'd say this is God's most coolest characteristic. Fact is, he's always doing it. Check it out. Just about every Bible story has these ridiculously weak, inadequate characters, and God turns them into superheroes. So I'm thinking, if God were choosing a nation as his treasured possession today, he's probably choosing a nation like Somalia, stricken by drought, civil disturbance, terrorism. They've got the highest number of citizens who've been displaced as refugees. Or maybe he's choosing Haiti, one of the poorest nations on earth that gets continually hammered by earthquakes and hurricanes. Or New Zealand, which as we know has 60 million woolly sheep and only 3 million people. But in all seriousness, if you were God, would you choose the Jews? Now Moses, who understood a little bit about being an unlikely choice himself, says to the Israelites in Deuteronomy 7, verse 6, "The Lord your God has chosen you out of all the peoples on the face of the earth to be his people, his treasured possession. The Lord did not set his affection on you because you were more numerous than other peoples, for you were the fewest of all peoples, but it was because the Lord loved you." Paul puts it this way: God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. God chose the lowly things of this world and the despised things and the things that are not to nullify the things that are. If you were God, would you choose you to make his name known in your family, in your street, in your community, in your nation? Our confidence is not in our pedigree, our identity, our vast talents, our influence, our profile. Our confidence is in the Lord and in his love for us. He brings down the proud and the conceited, the self-sufficient, and exalts the humble. Therefore, as the scripture says, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you. And while we're on the topic of weak and lowly things, I want to encourage you, if you're listening to this as part of the Ruach e-newsletter, to come along tonight and hear from Esther Scarborough from Hohidii. She will tell us what it looks like when the weak shame the strong. She will tell us what it looks like when God takes the humble and the lowly and lifts them up and gives them a place of honour. What's holding you back?